Whether you're an amateur footballer or a professional footballer, it's very easy to get better than your teammates. It really is very easy because most of the people don't practice on their own. In the amateur fields, I don't see many people practicing on their own. In the professional field, they don't really have that much time to practice on their own. But if you are able to do it on your own, work on your own development, work on your fundamentals outside of team practices, outside of games, you're golden because barely anybody else is doing it. And I'm experiencing it myself, how fast I am improving myself because I'm practicing on my own. It's truly amazing. And not many people realize this, or I don't know, not many people have the motivation to do it. But that's really the key to passing up other people and working on yourself and developing yourself. Because when you're just focusing on games, how many times do you touch the ball during the games? How many times do you touch the ball during team practices? And team practices are not designed for the development of individual players. Coaches put together, group practices to prepare you for the matches, prepare you for games, right? It's all short term, but personal development, it's all about long term game, right? And I mean, I hear many excuses why people don't practice on their own, right? In the amateur fields, if you're young, well, I got school, I got homework, I don't have time, I got practices with my team. Then when you get a little bit older and you have a job, well, I don't have time because I have a full-time job. When you are professional, well, I don't have time because I have team practices and they are so intense. So let's talk about this for a second. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. So over the last 25 years, like ever since I was in high school, I was a competitive ballroom dancer. And my partner and I practiced 3 to 4 hours per day all these years while we were in school, while we had full-time jobs, while we were professional. We always found time. So when I was in school, I was a full-time student taking full credits. My partner at that time graduated already. So she had a full-time job. And in the evening, the studio was not available. Do you know what time we practiced? From 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. I had a job. I worked a job at FedEx. It was at night, from 11 a.m. to like 2 a.m. And the only time we could practice together was from 3 to 7 a.m. That's it. Because then she had to go to work. I had to go to school, or depending on whether I had classes in the morning or in the evening, I either had to go to school or I had to go to sleep and then go to school. But we didn't find the excuses, oh, she has a full-time job, oh, I'm a full-time student. We woke up, or I stayed up because, I worked overnight. So after work handling packages, I would go to practice from 3 to 4. We would practice for 4 hours every day. And she would get up at, 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. to meet me at practice. And then she would go to work after practice, and I would either go to sleep or I would go to school and then go to sleep. So that was when I was during my college years. And then at some point after college, we got full-time jobs. And we worked 8 to 10-hour days. What time did we practice after that? From 9 p.m. to midnight. That's when we practiced. Yeah, it was tiring. It was exhausting because after a full day of worth of work, then you had to make yourself meals, and then we had to go to practice. And then get up the next day and do it again. But we found the time to do it. And then when we became professionals and we were teaching ballroom dance lessons for a living, that too, we found time to practice, right? So you can find an excuse. There's all sorts of excuses why you shouldn't. But the bottom line is that if you want to improve, if you want something really bad, you will find a way to work on yourself. You will find a way to find time to practice. And if you need motivation, the best two people that I can think of is Kobe Bryant and Cristiano Ronaldo. Those two absolutely get it. Do you think Kobe Bryant was like, oh, I'm not going to put in the extra work because my team practices are tiring? Do you think Ronaldo was only relying on team practices? No. So that's what separates the best from the rest. So you either work on yourself, develop yourself outside of team practices or outside of games, or you will be just like everybody else, stagnant, same level for years.